Hello, welcome viewers, new and returning to Saviours RPG, our weekly Dungeons and Dragons stream for episode 3 of our current story, Patchwork. As ever, thank you for joining us here on Mixer, and you can also follow us on our Twitter and Discord and YouTube, and all the relevant links should be somewhere in our info. We are currently using our homebrewed campaign setting of Betha Rioban, or as its inhabitants know it, the Ribbon. We also had our first world building stream yesterday, which I think went very well. It was highly invigorating to be part of, and we got some really good ideas and interaction. So that's there in our past streams to watch, and will shortly be up in our YouTube. Probably going to try and have maybe a couple of those a month, but we're not absolutely locked in with a schedule of that yet. But anyway, we're glad you've chosen to spend a bit of your Sunday here with us. And without further ado, player introductions. And I'm going to start with Jabber because I see him yawning.
Hello, friends. Thank you for joining me here today in the stream of all streams. My name is Jabber, and I will be playing the role... No, I will be becoming the role of Erithea, the Warlock of the Vale. Erithea is here currently to do things that, apply to other things in the future.
Okay, let me stop you there before you really ramble on too long. Thank you very much, Jabber, as ever. Emeros.
Absolutely. Hello, everyone. I'm Emeros, and I play the human swashbuckling bard named Marion, also known as Silvereye.
Sorry, I booped on that one because my mic wasn't working, so I'm just going to go ahead and... There's Emeros's character. I moved to the scene. Sorry.
No, don't worry, don't.
Scuffage.
It's
Thank
fine.
you.
It's fine.
We are missing our human wizard more. Well, I was about to say he should be. It's work schedule. We know he has told us in advance work scheduling. So Terrorblades should be joining us shortly with Mor the Heritoil, who is a wizard. And
Morin Gallic. His picture's up there in front of you.
Morin Gallic, that's right, indeed. He is basically a creepy bastard. And speaks like this. I like it. I like him a lot. And last by no means least, Dombro.
Some would say most. No one would say that. Hi, I'm Dombro, and I play Grashtar. Grashtar he is a red orc of the Shuna clan. And he is a fighter. He's pretty straightforward. He's a lot of fun to play because he's a bit gruff and he's not too big on the old talking. He is big on delegating, though, for sure. And that's him.
Let Marion talk.
Marion talks.
Yes. So last week's episode started with the party in Diliati's Well, and after discussing with the pub landlord and one of the local guards, went out in torrents of rain to find an eccentric miner called Hermir, who had been recently laughed out of town for extravagant stories that he'd been telling about something he'd seen near his mine. Along the way, they found the corpse of an owl bear, which a collar on it led it to be known as Billy, which is one of Hermir's 2 pet owl bears that the party had been told about. And then they also encountered Lily, who is the second of those owl bears who had been sort of staying in the area, almost protecting the corpse, but seemed to run off without too much bother, but she is elsewhere at this moment in time. And a miserable trip with the rain and the uncomfortable wetness continued until the party found themselves at the miner's shack. And after a minorly tense standoff, when he came to the door with a huge, heavy crossbow, wasn't huge at all, it was just huge because he's a tiny wee gnome man. Introductions were made. Eri very bluntly told him, "Oh, by the way, we've found your pet dead." And he has been quite inconsolable for most of their interaction at the moment. And as we start today, he's just sort of dabbing up his tears and has motioned them into his shack. And you see, it's a fairly ramshackle place. It's put together. There's bits of stone, bits of haphazard wood, and a sort of corrugated tin roof. But inside, it's well furnished, as much as it can be in a place like this. But most of it is sort of scatter cushions and things like that on the ground. And he gestures and goes, "Well, I suppose I'd better show you some hospitality. Anyone for some tea?"
Yeah, I could go for some.
Yeah, why not?
He sort of gestures, "Make yourself at home," and he goes up, and you can see there's a sort of cast iron stove, and puts a few extra logs in it to get it up, and puts a big cast iron kettle on the top as well, which he's filled with water. "So, what brings you all the way out here to visit a strange old man like me?"
Well, we've been searching for this creature that you saw. Or supposedly, I do hope that you were telling the truth on this one. We have seen its victims along the way here. And we hope that you could tell us a bit more about it.
"So what do you know already? You tell me," and you can tell without any sort of roles or anything that he's. And from what the member of the guard told you, like, he's a little bit reticent because the last time he told his stories, he was, as I say, laughed out of town.
Yeah, I think Grash sort of under his breath. "It does not eat its kills."
He doesn't really react to that.
Well, yeah, that too. But also, we know that it cuts pieces off its victims. It moves strangely. It's probably huge, from what we could tell from its prints. And yeah, it has a weird way of moving and disappearing.
It is big and jumps.
He nods, and kettle starts to boil. He starts making tea and things. Doesn't ask how anyone takes it. He just puts loads of sugar. Everyone gets black coffee that's so sweet as to almost like cause pain. Because there's 16
Yummy.
sugars in a cup. And he's deliberately pausing. You can see his thoughts running across his wizened old face. And the other thing I should say is he is obviously a gnome, so he's like 2.5 feet tall. So, I mean, he's sort of looking up at all of you when you're standing up, even probably when you're sitting down. Let me see. And then he looks you all up and down and goes, "Well, if I'm going to tell you my stories, why don't you tell me what your involvement in this is? And you just strangers had turned up my door and told me my poor Billy died, and I don't know you've not done it."
Well, I'm here for the adventure. Literally.
I do not kill pets.
No, it doesn't.
I don't even know how to kill a bugbear
I do.
or owlbear. Bugbear? Are they related?
First cousins.
He's like looking daggers at Airy.
I think Grash will sort of uncomfortably push away this black ichor in the cup that he got. So I don't know what the hell that is, but no thank you.
I am searching for the beast, for I need a trophy in order to return to my homeland.
I've come across your type before doing this.
I doubt it.
Nevertheless, I have.
Recently?
No. Must have been a couple of 100 years since I last met one of your type on that sort of journey.
I think Grash will just...
Perhaps one of my ancestors, then.
Possibly.
But in order to complete my journey, I need a fitting trophy. And this thing would fit.
And he looks at you and he looks at Marion. He goes, "Adventure? Honor-bound quest?" And he looks at Airy and goes, "What about you?"
I mean, I guess I'm just kind of around for the fun.
He just shakes his head. And he looks at Moore, and I think Moore just sort of... I think he probably more would say something along the lines of that he was there for the history of it, because he likes to find out that, you know, what's happened and things, and if there's any magical learnings that he can find out. And he sort of sits back and goes, "Well, maybe... Just one moment," and you see him, he's sort of in drawers and stuff, and comes out with this big sort of bottle, clear liquid, and go, "I knew I put the good stuff away somewhere." And, you know, he puts a big shot into his tea and sort of passes it around, and, you know, it's very, very strong sort of poutine type liquor.
May I?
And he puts his hand out for the bottle.
Yeah, absolutely. I need something to fortify me till telling this story, because I'm telling you, I've had nothing but nightmares since this. So, where do I start?
Hey, Grashtar, now that I think about it, what if it was you that came in the past in the first time, and now it's the second? Now it's the reincarnation of you coming for the second time.
Excuse me?
Sorry, I've been thinking about this ever since you said that.
Well, I don't understand what you said.
I think I know what's going on. Sorry, you can tell your story now.
Grashtar, just utterly bewildered, just takes another little swig from the bottle, and he'll hand it back because he's not going to be greedy.
Mm-hmm. And pass it around, you know, he just like offers it so anyone who wants to take some can. He tops up his cup again. You now know it's definitely more spirit than tea by this time, as he's taking big gulps. "Well, I've lived here alone, apart from dear old Billy and Lily, for must be 300 years. And in that time I have, this is a wee unassuming wee shack, but I've got quite a mining structure in there, and my wee passages and things go all over inside this beer mountain, and I occasionally come across strange things, but, well, about..." And he sort of thinks a bit. "Sorry, time passes a bit strangely when you're just on your own all the time, so, but," and then you can see, must have been about 10 days ago, and curious thing, I was deep in the heart of my mines, and a rabbit comes out of the thing and just hops past me. I mean, I'm hundreds and hundreds of feet below the surface. how the hell did it get in there? And then I saw another rabbit, and then I saw some hedgehogs, and a badger, and I'm just like, what the heck is going on? So I went deeper and deeper into the mine, and the wee small critters seemed to stop, like a wave of them had come through and passed through, and I started to see dead things, bigger, deer, boar. Just, I just like, I don't know how anything could have got in there. I just don't understand it at all. Still don't, I have to tell you. I never came to how they got in there or anything. Then, and he sort of pauses at this point, and you can see him visibly get a bit paler. Then cavern gets a wee bit wider, and it's very twisty. I had to, and he starts recounting. He sort of gets off track about how there was this particularly hard incropping of metallic thing, and he didn't have the pieces, so his lovely straight tunnel had to start kinking as he followed a vein of softer rock, and I heard all these strange noises and soft sloppings and like somebody cutting silk or something, loud. And I tiptoed round, and I saw the back of this huge man just sitting hunched in the middle of my cavern where I got, and he starts sort of diverting himself away from it again to talk about some particularly nice ore that he found here, which is why there's a bigger bit as he worked it. I lived on the profit of that for 3, 4, 5 years. It was a particularly good find, but that doesn't really matter at the moment. This man, for what I want, must be 10, 12 feet tall, but, difficult for me down here. You're all fucking huge, big creatures. It's difficult. Skin was... Well, you're probably only about the height, half the height of this gentleman. I say gentleman.
He
monster.
Sounds perfect.
Covered in scars and stitches and patched together bits, I don't know what, but...
Come on, remember, what? Patches? Pieces together?
Like his skin was... Bits of it were furry, and bits of it were scaled, and bits of it were human skin, or elf or dwarf or something, and...
Perhaps you mistaken clothing.
No, he was naked as the day he was born. I could see the crack of his ass. And... Sorry.
All right, prairie squid.
Yeah!
You're gonna round up them little dogs down the corral.
Sorry. Back in a moment. And I don't think, even if I hadn't been so quiet, he wouldn't have noticed me. He was fixated on something in his hands, and he was, for a huge big creature, he seemed to be really nimble fingered, and he was so intent on what he was doing. And I didn't want to go any further, but he shifted a bit, and what I saw was he was cutting off the tail of a manticore. Now, have any of you ever come across a manticore before? And you can roll a nature check, anyone, if you want, or if you have a story, especially Grash, you can definitely just say he has.
When I was a boy, one returning from his journey brought back what he said was a piece of the manticore.
Well, you know that manticore don't live down no gnomish mine. So how the hell did that get in there? I don't know. Anyway, it was definitely a manticore. I could see all the different heads and the wings and all sorts, but he was fixated on the tail. And I must have stood there frozen in fear for 1 or 2 hours, just standing there in the shadows, afraid to breathe.
Hold on.
And I watched him.
For 2 hours you stood there.
Yeah.
And he did not pick up your scent.
No.
Did he have a nose?
Now, I didn't get right good look at his face, I'm going to be honest. But even in the profile, there seemed to certainly be a nose on the front of his face, but whether it worked or not, I don't know. And he sort of, I mean, I live here alone. I'm fairly pungent. Even I know that. And he just like stinks of alcohol and BO.
Yes, I know.
Sort of.
And, well, as I said, probably an hour or 2 hours, and I just watched this huge thing delicately remove the tail from the body. And then he took out these tiny little knives that just were so sharp, and they just looked like pins in his huge, big, meaty hands. But he moved with an incredible precision and dexterity that I just would not have expected. And I don't know exactly. I know more about the internal workings of a manticore now than I ever did, but he seemed to specifically take out the organ and the musculature that grows and fires the quill-like spikes at the back of a manticore's tail.
Strange.
And once he'd done that, he just discarded the rest, and he stomped off deeper into the mine. And that's when my fear broke, and I just ran away, and I went straight to town to tell the story. And they all laughed at me, just said I was a drunken old fool and I had a fever dream. But I tell you, it's definitely something's down there in those mines.
Wait, you mean to tell us it's still down there?
I don't know. I've been too scared. I've not worked ever since. I'm down to my last 2 or 3 gold. I don't know what the hell I'm going to do. My living depends on that mine, and I've not worked. I'm too damn scared.
Well, maybe we could fix that for you. Where is this mine exactly?
Oh, just round back at the mine workings. It's only 200-300 yards away from my shack here.
We would be happy.
But it's deep down.
You'll have 50 gold if we can enter the place. If you could guide us halfway at least, that would be very helpful.
For 50 gold, make a persuasion check.
$17.
For 50 gold, I'll take you halfway, but not a step further.
Then we have a deal. Do you want to set out? Well, before Marion says that, what time of the day is it? And
We're just basically after having a long rest and coming here, I believe. So it could be like midday to 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock sort of thing.
all right.
Yeah.
Well, never mind then. Yeah. So, how do you guys feel? Should we check it out straight away?
Yes.
Yeah, I knew that from you, but I was more, asking the other ones.
Well, I mean, I don't want to stay here.
What's bad with here?
It smells.
It smells.
Yeah. Well. All right. I suppose Marion does not seem to be bothered by this stinky smell.
Does Marion smell stinky?
Oh no, he smells fine, but
All right. Just we never set that canon precedent yet.
yeah. You need to make sure. No, he smells fine, or at least sweaty right now. Probably.
Does Gashtar smell sticky? That's not an answer.
I don't know. Haven't thought that far ahead. Does he smell stinky?
That should be a vital point of.
Probably not too bad because I don't think he built up that bad of a sweat on this journey up here.
And there was a lot of rain as well.
There's a lot of rain.
Whether you wanted that or not, it was torrential rain. A lot of the
that should be on every character sheet or every character creation. It should be.
Smell?
What do they smell like? Very important.
My first druid ever was an 80-year-old man who smelled like shit and had basically moss growing on him. So
to be fair, Grash's neutral is orc. So I don't know what that means to you.
That is true.
You know,
he smells like damp. I imagine he smells damp.
I can see a future world building stream that is just like, what do the races of the ribbons smell like naturally?
Drunken stream. Calling it.
Anyway.
That's a drunken stream.
So what are you doing now? I mean, like when he's sort of, because he's sitting there now and he's openly just taking the bottle back and he's not even like pouring it into the cup. He's just necking from the bottle now. What's he seeing pass across the faces of you as he's inspecting you?
Well, he will certainly see Grash sort of awkwardly shuffling in his seats that are way they're like a full-grown person sitting in a toddler's little plastic seat. He's kind of at a hunch thing, but he's also now gripping his pick and his sword, and he just wants to go. Like he's antsy.
Marion's counting the gold. It's business, so.
He would see a veil.
Of course.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the look on my face.
Yeah, no, that's absolutely fine. Excuse me. So
50 gold has been removed.
As he takes that and he goes and sort of puts it away, and he sort of goes, well, there no time like the present, I suppose, or you want to go straight away, or you got anything else you want to do first?
Can you pass me the bottle?
And he sort of looks down and goes, not really much left, I'm afraid. I need fortifying. But he does relent and give you dregs.
Grash finishes it.
There's like a mouth, yeah, there's like a mouthful left.
This is wonderful.
Well, I need back in my mind so I can get money to get more, because that was the last I have.
Where do you buy this?
Dewdrop.
Marion, you'd heard Dewdrop after this.
We certainly will be.
You'd heard that name mentioned in Diliat as well as the merchant store.
Yeah.
Well, but first, we have a big one, my friend.
Yes. This feels like it will be it. Finally. No more wolves.
Or kobolds.
Or children hiding. This is an adventure worthy of a chief.
Oh, I certainly hope so.
Let's go.
And I think Grash and Marion just exit, completely ignoring Arian more. God.
That's the conversation on the way out.
Yeah.
But
what do we have? What's happened to the thing? Is Terra joined?
Oh, Terra's joining. So we'll just pause there for a second.
No, we're good. We're good. You can continue.
But I believe Marion would, pause outside as the door. I imagine we walk out and the door slams shut behind us, and then he remembers, like, oh, Erethy and more. And then he turns around and waits for them and the halfling. Or was it? No.
No.
No, yeah, sorry.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, let's go.
I'll just very briefly bring Terror up to speed. So,
I heard very little on the walk over. I was
no, all right, okay. So Hermir has basically described a very strange thing that he started finding woodland creatures deep into his mine, and he then found what probably is this creature that you've been seeking, with a manticore that he very, very, very medically removed the organs and musculature and things from the tail of the manticore that grows and fires the quill-like spikes that come out of it, and then wandered off deeper into the mine, which is where Hermir made his escape. And Marion has already paid him 50 gold pieces for the promise of he will show you halfway down the mine, but not a step further. And as you join the call, Grash and Marion have basically strode off, even though they don't know exactly where they're going, because they're very keen to get on.
Well, I did say that Marion
sorry.
would wait outside the door, just remembering, oh, well, it's not just the two of us. Well, Erethy and more, and no.
Yeah, that's fine. And he goes, well, just you follow me then. And he leads you sort of round the back of his shack, and then there's a wee sort of path that goes onto another sort of ledge above it, where you see the deep entrance to the mine. And when he's told you he's done all this himself, whilst it's not exactly dwarven engineering, for a tiny wee gnome to have made this themselves, even though he has told you it's taken him like 3 centuries, this is pretty impressive for a man on his own to have actually done all of this.
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
How high is the ceiling?
Is that actually a... Oh,
Gnome
a
height.
gnome.
It's 4 feet tall.
Oh.
So it's there's loads and loads of headroom for a gnome.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, however high he could reach with a pickaxe, so about 4 feet is as tall as it can get.
It's like Minecraft, as far as he could reach with the pickaxe.
So Grash will sort of be like, from if you're inside the cave, he'll just have his arm up and thing looking down it, admiring the workmanship. And then suddenly it will kind of dawn on him.
And he sort of turns to you and goes, gee, you long legs, don't worry, it's only probably about a mile at this, and then I started getting into cracks and fissures, and it's probably 10 or 12 feet tall for a bit of it.
So just for people at home, Grash doesn't have a normal like adventuring pack as you would imagine one to be. He actually just has a large netting which is made up of different sinew and gut. Like it's a traditional sort of a desert net. And it's just full of like, he's got a couple of pots in there, he's got a couple of spare weapons in there, or old weapons in there, and just bits and bobs, but it's absolutely full. So he just pulls that off, he unties it around his chest, and he just takes it in his hands, and yeah, he will just go about the business of ducking right down and getting ready for a mile-long walk. And before he goes into the cave, he just puts himself against the wall, and he's just, Marion, push my chest. Push it hard.
Hold me.
You
Push
sure?
it hard now.
All
In the middle.
All right. Yes. And Marion proceeds to attempt to do this with his scrawny, weak arms.
And he farts.
But it's enough. It's just, you just hear a cracking of the back as he knows he will not be able to move his back for a while. So,
and yeah, it's going to be uncomfortable, but it's not difficult to actually. Well, it's difficult as in it'll be difficult terrain. You'd have movement and stuff like that till you're out of the bit, but there's no skill checks, is what I mean, to be able to traverse it or anything. Sorry, Tara, I cut you off.
As Moore looks down the very small entrance and the very small continuation of the space, he just goes, my back hole hurts already. Oh no.
Yep, on you go.
I was gonna say Airy casts light on his spear.
I was just about to say, he goes, well, I was just about to say that because I can see in the dark, so I've not bothered putting torches and stuff in there. So those of you that can't see in the dark, that's a very smart thing you done there.
Old man, would you like me to crack you?
Sorry, what?
Is that what the kids call it now?
Not talking to you, Mr. Gnome.
Mr. Other Old Man?
I do apologize. What is your name, sir?
Hamir.
Oh, yes. Hamir.
Yeah,
I remember
wrote that down.
Yes. You, Moore. Would you like me to crack you?
No, that's fine. I don't think I can take another crack.
Very well.
Well,
Why wouldn't you say it? It sounds so much worse.
Pardon?
When I say cracking or he say cracking?
No, why would Tara says it? It sounds like such a worse thing than that.
oh, like it's an innuendo because it's Tara who said it. That's what.
Yeah.
I just immediately I was like, sounds fine, and then Tara responded. I'm like, sounds much worse.
I was at the club the other day, and
Right.
No, we'll just shut you down there.
But the story gets good.
Shut up.
Right. Well, I suppose if you're all a bit inconvenienced, let's go. And he starts wandering in, and you see it's quite straight, this particular tunnel, but there's bits going off and left and right, and he's sort of basically telling you the history. Oh, that was where I struck Mithril. I mean, I only got 4 or 5 pounds out of there, but woohoo! I lived like a king for that year, and I got some diamonds down there, and and this is the way he goes all the way, and he's just like yammering about the geology. And
I think after a while of this, not even that long of it, like Grash will be like accommodating at first, because Grash as usual is in the front, but he's like awkwardly bungling his cargo netting with him, and he keeps like stopping and pointing stuff out, and Grash is like hitting his head on things. He's like,
That's enough. Move.
I am moving. I've only got small legs, so just you hold your horses, you big galoot.
You are lucky you are not a prize trophy.
Crash, I was actually pondering a while back if I should give you these or not, but so from Marian's pockets, he picks up 2 very strangely shaped rocks that he has been essentially just polishing, and gives them to Grash. Well, I don't know how much good they will do, but put them in your ears. They should probably stop some of the sound.
Very well.
Grash stuffs them in. Is the sound heightened, or not heightened, but is it lowered? Because that wouldn't necessarily.
Marion, make a. What are we going to say? Let's say a dexterity check. Let's see how well you've polished the stones.
Oh, that wasn't too bad. 17.
Okay, I'd say that it's mostly quiet. All you're just hearing, like almost reverberating in your jawbone. You can hear the murmuring of someone talking, but it's definitely giving you quite a lot of relief from his yammering.
You honor me with your crafting, Marion. Thank you.
It's like a genuine. Like Thomas takes his hands.
And I imagine you like turn around as good as you can to tell
Yeah,
me
it's
this, and I
awkward
just
though. There's
point
dust
to
coming
myself,
down.
not saying a word, but you owe me.
And I think at this, like, Hamir sort of tugs on you and goes, "Have you fishwives done enough yammer-yammering and we get back to going where we're going?"
What?
Is there fish down here as well?
He just like, huh.
With
and
many
sort
a
of
fish.
storms off. Everyone make me a perception check.
Natural 20. It's the first natural 20 Grash ever got.
Good job.
Just took the episode.
15.
Okay.
10.
Okay.
Because
14.
perception's my
Natural
dump.
20, and I've got things in my ears. Am I at disadvantage, or is it to do with sight?
No, it's not. It's sight, so there's no disadvantage. So everyone that got above an 8, so well done with a natural 20. You sort of see, most of you here, but Grash doesn't. And then there's like a load of pheasants just come out of one of the side minings and sort of run past you, clucking and flapping their wings.
Can I get one of them?
Yeah, make a dexterity check.
I'll just pick down at it. Yeah. Dex check.
You want to kill it like that? Oh yeah, well make an attack roll. Sorry, I thought you meant grab it. Make an attack roll.
So it's 15 on the dice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a pheasant. You don't even need to roll damage. You just like boonk and pin it to the wall with the edge of your pick.
Yeah, and you'll just take it, pull the neck off just to make sure, and sort of take a small bit of string, tie it off so it's not like pissing blood essentially. Actually, while he's walking, he will just have the chicken draining, or the pheasant draining.
Yeah. I think you go, oh, nice one. Try and get a few more. That'll make nice dinner later on. And but I told you, those strange things. I mean, what the hell are pheasants doing down there in my mind? And you've now like gone several hundred yards, and although the opening is open, it's still pretty weird that a load of pheasants would have decided to come so far deep into the mine.
Yeah.
Sorry, on you.
No, I think we do notice the pheasants, but are there any
Prince.
I don't know, burn marks, scorches, something around here that could explain like a teleportation spell? Anything?
Are you just looking around, or are you actually pausing to make an investigation?
No, it's just I don't know. Maybe it's an old. No, he made this mine shaft, didn't he? Completely.
It's 300 years old.
Oh yeah. No,
it's
I
not
don't.
300 years old necessarily. He took 300 years to build it.
Yeah, but you can tell this entranceway was the first thing he did, so this probably is absolutely 300 years old, because it would have been the first thing he'd have done.
Yeah. Okay. No, I don't think there would be any more comments on this.
Okay, that's fine.
More than it being very strange.
I can make some magical tests when I'm not crawling.
Very good. He just keeps going. And now you start to see, and you look up some of the side tunnels where he's still sort of going about like different minerals and gemstones and things that he's got. But occasionally you'll look down and you'll just see a couple of rabbits like cleaning themselves, a few dozen feet down, and just stop to look at you and pause whilst you pass on and then not do anything. And it is a bit strange. There's no denying it. There seems to be a reasonably large amount of forest wildlife down in these mines at the moment. And probably 15, 20 minutes later, you start to see that where his very specific mind tunnel starts to come in, and it's obviously broken through into a more natural cavern that he's then used to traverse. And all of you that are taller now can stand your full height, as it seems to be about 9 or 10 feet tall in the moment. There are still bits where you have to duck and things like that, but you can definitely start to stand up.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Grash will take that time to redress his cargo net onto his back again, and he will also just shake the chicken out, a la Hulk versus Loki, and put
He'll
it back
shake
in his
the chicken
backpack.
out.
He'll tie off the neck and put it in the back for later.
Cool. And I think at this, there's a wee bit more that you can all, because you've all had to have been sort of one by one, but you can all sort of get ready and talk now. There's a wee bit more space, and he goes, well, I'm not going to be coming much longer. We're almost halfway there, but it's just straight. And then you'll see it narrows. The ceiling still stays high. If anything, it gets higher. And then there's a sort of narrow switchback. Remember I told you there was the outcropping of really, really hard stone, and it had to work around it in the vein? And it's just on the other side of that zigzag is where I saw him.
Fine.
Now that you'll be able to up and stride with those big long legs, it's probably only another 15 minutes walk, but it's straight. You're lucky it's not down one of the side passages that can turn into a maze. That'd be the other thing I tell you is don't go off the track, because you could get lost down here for months.
Oh no. Moore
Oh,
takes out a candle and lights it and puts it on the ground, sitting against a wall.
Yeah, I've got the ones to spare.
Yeah, Grash will just arm himself, take out his pick, and he'll take out his sword as well.
Anything else we should know about this place? You haven't laid any traps to, in case the beast will come out this way or anything.
No, I just turned tail and ran as soon as I thought it was safe. I've not spent another minute. This is the first time I've been down here in 30 days.
Didn't you say it was 3 to 10 days before?
10 days, I said.
Oh,
Listen to you big cloth ears. Maybe the other one should take those bloody stones out his ears.
What?
Don't you think I didn't notice? I think we've lost a Jabberwocky, by the way.
Jibber, where are you?
He's still kind of here. It's fine for now.
Cool.
Cameron will go crazy in a minute. It's fine.
Yeah. And that's basically what he says to you.
Well, if it is just 15 minutes walk that way, I think we could manage ourselves. And then just straight, right?
Yes.
You are no longer of use.
I tell you what, though, I will stay here, show you back out. But if I hear anything or see anything, I am all the way back to my shack, lickety split.
Grash will take the stones out of his ears, and he'll go to hand them back to Marion.
Oh no, keep them. I made them for you in situations like this.
Most appreciated. Thank you.
No worries, partner.
Partner.
Question mark.
Yeah, well, that is essentially what we are, aren't we? Companions in an adventure?
Yeah, yes.
Well, then partners then.
Let us go.
Oh yeah?
Grash just confused at the interaction, just stomps on by, and over out towards the well, it's just straight on.
Marion's enjoying these.
Who's
My
leading?
power
Is
went
it?
out.
Oh, has your power gone out? Is that what it was?
We still got him.
Christ.
We still got him.
Yeah, I jumped onto my phone.
Is Grash taking up the lead? Make a survival check, Grash.
Ba-bum, ba-ba-ba-bum. Survival. Ooh, what's that? 21.
Okay. So you keep going, and then, as he said, it's just straight. You find a way quite easily because the spur junctions that go off into other various mine shafts and things like that are very obvious. They're very much more gnome-sized. That he's just like, because obviously there's no need for him to think. So the sort of side tunnels are all back down to sort of 4 feet and things like that. And you know there's no possibility of the thing that you're looking for being down them because of how he's explained it size-wise. You do, however, along the way start to see many more of these carcasses, mostly just forest creatures again, larger ones, back to being the sort of deer and the boar and things like that. Maybe some of the boar have the tusks removed or large stretches of their hide, or if not completely skinned. Many of them seem to also, which is something new, they seem to have been completely exsanguinated. There's bloodless, slightly desiccated, but there's no evidence of the blood being, it's not like a slit throat and there's dried blood everywhere. They seem to be fairly bloodless. Yeah.
It might feed after all.
Sorry, what did you say?
It might feed after all.
Don't. There wasn't a lot of blood splatter. Did
No,
you say?
the opposite.
No.
This is
There was none.
This is
Yeah.
lacking blood.
Yeah, exsanguinated. All the blood has been removed.
It's
Yeah.
like in the late 90s when all those cows showed up and the aliens,
Oh yeah, those things.
I mean, now the aliens are doing other things. We're preparing for the...
You've guessed the secret ending.
Alien cows.
Aliens. Yes.
No,
It was
it's alien
Grey. It
cows
was
this time.
Roswell Greys all along.
The cardinal sin of storytelling.
No. The ending is the charging of Area 51.
Okay.
Right.
Yes.
Let's. So, do you do anything, or do you just pass them by, or does anyone?
I imagine it's more of just a creepy thing to see.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I don't think Grash really says anything, but I think he takes that fear, and from the fear, you can just see him. He's just sort of juicing up a little.
Channel. Use it. I think Marion grabs the hilt of his cutlass a bit harder.
Mm-hmm.
I think Airy makes their light brighter.
Yeah, that's fine.
Cast light a second time on a different object.
All right, that's fine. Yeah, that's not a problem. Yeah, it's been far less than an hour, so that's not a problem at all. What's the second thing you're
Casting on.
A torch.
I don't know why that just makes me laugh. There's an unlit torch with a light cantrip on the end of it.
I am. Jabber, be honest. Is that the first time you've done that? Have you lit light on torches before in games?
I used to cast light on my lantern.
Yeah, it sounds like a very Jabber thing.
It sounds like one of those green, the eco light.
If you have like a hooded lantern, you cast light on a rock, put it in the hooded lantern, and then you can cover it up, and you don't waste oil.
That's brilliant. Eco-friendly.
Yeah.
Nice one. Okay. I'm wondering, do we want to take a break early in case Jabber's power comes back on, or do you want me just to push on? I don't mind one way or the other. I just thought.
I think
My
at this
computer's
stage,
starting up.
yeah, at this stage, I think we just see it through, right?
Yeah, that's fine. No problem.
Presumably, there's a better stopping point, but
Yeah.
I'm just loading up Discord right now, so I'll be on.
yeah.
All right, cool. That's fine.
Power flash.
Nice.
No, don't worry.
Happens a lot.
Aye. Okay, so you pass on, and then after the requisite time, you do come to the bit that he mentioned. And it's a little bit uncomfortable this time because you're squeezing rather than the height-wise, but, again, there's no checks or anything to become. But, again, without any rolls or anything, it's very clear that you have come to the sort of the very tight switchback and he has told you that there's a more wide cavern beyond.
Yeah.
Do you pause? Do you stop before entering it to speak to the others? No.
I think Marion just says to everyone, like, we don't know what's waiting down here. Could be nothing. It could have moved, but be on your guard.
If you give me 10 minutes, I can cast a spell to detect if there's any magic around.
No, thank you.
I wouldn't mind that normally, but
I would.
I think my friend, yeah, I'm sort of had to keep up with him.
Can
But
everyone
thanks for the
roll
offer.
a perception check as well, just before we move on?
11.
24.
17.
A dirty 20.
Okay. Everyone that rolled above a 10, you start, which is everybody, you start to smell the obvious smell of putrefaction. There is obviously something very rotten in the vicinity.
Yeah, I think you will see, because Grash often smells the air, so you'll see and like a big cat, it's like he just opens his mouth wide. It's like it's like he's smelling slightly better. It's stinging at the back of his palate almost.
Absolutely.
Up ahead.
And
And
I think at this point, Marion actually draws the cutlass.
Okay, that's fine. So, Grash, as you pass through and everyone passes behind, you see exactly as Hermir told you. So it's a larger chamber. The ceiling goes up to probably about 20 feet in here, and it's maybe 30 or 40 feet across, roughly circular. It's obviously, because the way he described it was, there was a big nodule of minerals in here, and this is just what's been left behind. So you can see that it's little chips around the walls and stuff like that that's created it. And in the middle of it, there is, I suppose, what can only really be described as a charnel pit. There are multiple carcasses in various states of decay, and on the top of it, the large manticore carcass that he mentioned. It is obvious nothing has probably touched this since soon after, or at least at all after, the incident that Hermir has told you. And yeah, it's taking up the majority. There's a lot of stuff here.
Oh, wow. That is a big pile of rotten things. Does anybody see Big Tall Man anywhere?
Do you see any
A
prints?
poor creature.
Are you just looking at this point, or are you starting to actually investigate the area a bit?
Definitely scanning and looking everywhere now.
I'm getting elbow deep.
And I think
Okay.
Marion would scuttle off to, stealthily, of course, just to see what he can find. Stay within
I got a survival.
outside the reaches of the light.
I got a survival
Okay, so-
22. 22 survival on my check there.
Okay. We'll do that first, and then we'll come to the others because you're all doing this thing. So with the survival, you see that there are a couple of large bloody handprints on the wall, where the wall just naturally through the chipping seems to be a little bit flatter, so it's been easier for the thing. And it's almost as though something's just braced itself, and you put your hand up to it, and it's a hand about twice the size of yours. Looks like an ogre's hand or something like that. And you also see that at the back, which was initially out of view because of the pit of and the pile of bodies, there's another entrance exit tunnel at the back, continuing in roughly the direction you've going in the same way. Stealth wise, what did you roll for stealth, Marion?
I rolled a 14 plus 6, so yeah, that's
a dirty 20. Okay,
Yep.
So you feel you are fairly well hidden from sight. That's fine. I'll come back to you in a second. Eri, what were you doing? I think his power's gone again.
No.
Oh, he's frozen on my Discord.
I thought I heard him.
yeah, so did I.
Are you there, Jab?
Technical difficulty.
It's fine.
Yeah. More, what are you doing? We'll come back to Eri.
This thing, like it was a pit, right?
Well, not a pit. I called it a charnel pit, but it's actually a pile rather than a pit.
Right. So then he will use. Right, I didn't have it. Let's see, what can I do? We'll just. He'll just begin piling like through the bodies, just sort of digging through the pile and see what.
Okay, make an investigation check.
This action will definitely get a curious look from Grashtar across the cave.
I'm alive again.
Okay.
This is weird. I never have internet issues.
Investigation?
I live in America. We should have the best
24.
Okay. Eri, you were going through the pile of bodies as well, weren't you?
Yeah, team
Right,
body.
You roll an investigation check as well because you're getting helped by Moore, but he's rolled his own investigation check.
It is a 12.
A 12. Okay. So, Eri, you take a while diving through the bodies and you don't really find anything of any substance or significance. You are covered in putrid entrails and blood, and, there is no way for you to have done this without getting pretty messed up.
What if I mage armored before I went in?
I would say I'm not going to allow that retrospectively. It would absolutely have worked the same way as the wind, but you didn't think about that to begin with. So you're
right.
You're a state. It's all in your hair and everything.
What if I cast mage armor and it expands outwards, deflecting all of the goo off of my body?
No, it just seals in what's there.
Healthy.
Yum.
Yeah. Let's hope neither of you have. It's just good that neither of you have any recent open wounds, put it that way.
Why am I getting flashbacks of whale carcass?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Moore, however, rolled a 24. So you're in the same state. Your white alabaster mask is smeared with goo and entrails and stuff, and you're just as bad a state. But you do make some important findings. Firstly, You reckon that there are 3 or 4 humanoid corpses amongst this as well. You would probably have to drag them out and investigate them a little bit further to work out what, but they are definitely humanoid amongst the beasts and things. And you also find a small silver brooch on a silver chain.
Ooh. I think I've found some people and a piece of jewelry. Could somebody help me dig out these bodies? Who knows what they might tell us now? Poor souls lost in this.
You had Grash's attention. You had Grash's attention already from diving into a load of bodies, so he kind of curiously.
This isn't very respectful.
And he just starts, as you point out the bodies, just picking them up and placing them down.
Well, they're not here anymore. Their souls have escaped. These are shells. We need not.
We do need to burn the bodies because the souls may already be back into the ring, but yeah,
There's
we
no
need
time
to.
for that now.
No, I'll just start the fire and then.
No, not in the cave. There's not a lot of air here. We'll lose all
our
the
way out.
But then the chickens and the roosters and the whole McDonald's farm will be gone down.
Who's this McDonald? Well,
I don't know. It's something the kids used to sing about.
Marion did not say that. He's scuttling around somewhere else.
Yeah, but let's cut back to Marion. Where are you going when you're stealthed about whilst they're all
essentially hugging
deep in guts?
Well, essentially hugging the left wall, just to walk about the place. Because the way you described it, it's essentially like a big pile.
Yes.
Right. Yeah. Then I think he's going to be as perceptive as he can be, even though it does not have any sort of dark vision.
Okay. I think without needing another roll is that you don't see anything particularly different or anything that comes to mind in the rest of it. The only thing is that you obviously see the same exit tunnel across from where you came in. So it's really just, do you just stay in here or do you go and have a peek down there?
If I can't see anything in here, then I'm gonna take a peek outside.
Okay, so you peek down this tunnel and it runs for maybe, again, it's rough. It's obviously following some sort of vein that Hermir's sort of gradually chipped out. But it is actually quite straight, so you can see along it. And after about, let's say, 60 to 80 feet in front of you, it seems to open out into another tunnel. And it seems rather strange to you because you shouldn't be able to see that far without light, and it does seem like there is some sort of light in front of you. And make a nature check.
That's an 8.
Yeah, it's not. You can't quite place it, but it's not a torch. It's not firelight. It's not something that you would obviously be expecting down in a deep dark mine.
He will take note of this and walk back to the others.
Okay.
Still, every few paces he will just take a look back to see, so that nothing follows him from that tunnel.
There was no obvious noise or no other sight or movement or anything, but yeah. The rest of you, I think by the time that Marion rejoins you, you've got out, and what it looks like is you've pulled out, and they do seem to be, they are 3 bodies, 2 that seem to be human size, and 1 that could possibly be a human child or a halfling. They have been completely skinned, so you can see, it's like the in Predator when the bodies are found like hanging from things. That's basically what's lying in front of you. They are not, and neither are any of the other bodies exsanguinated. So there is blood everywhere for some of the other ones that have had more invasive types of action taken. These ones aren't bleeding because it seems to have just been the skin that have been taken from them. But some of the other bodies, it is internal organs and stuff. So there is blood and guts about.
Oh no. Well, you probably get to rest now.
It is fine. The soul is not in the body. Or that actually, I don't know if they had their rights handled. They might still be in there.
Maybe you can help them with that. I just
How would
hope
I be
that
able
they
to?
didn't have to suffer this whole effect. That they at least got to die before
Kind
this
of,
happened.
kind of sweaty Grash at this stage after carrying the bodies out.
There's no time for any of this.
Would you want to be in that state? To suffer in that prison? To see yourself without your skin?
To die fighting is
I
all
don't
that
know.
matters.
These didn't look like they died fighting.
You may do what you want with them after.
It is fine. I'll do something really fast. Don't mind it.
Yeah, you get a roll of the eyes.
Meanwhile, come with me. I'll show you where I found something.
Who'd you say that to?
To Grash. I
Very well.
I said that to Grash.
Yeah, he follows you.
So you take him to the thing, and you see the same thing that
Yeah.
Marion saw, and you can make a nature check yourself if you want.
Nature is... Oh. It's just flat 14.
Yeah, that's enough. Like Marion, you instantly see it's not a torchlight, it's not an oil lantern or a fire. Really strangely, it's almost reminiscent of the sort of dusk light you get on when you're standing on the opposite side of a mountain when the sunlight has passed beneath the ridge and you can't see it, but it's still daylight, but it's that much dimmer daylight as when there's no direct sunlight coming in shadows.
I've seen the likes of this in the dunes of the Shuna.
Yes, absolutely. And
He says to Marion. Sorry.
Yeah, I realised you said that, but I just started to cut in was, however, even with only a 14, it's like you realise you're hundreds of feet below the surface. That is not
normal,
really making sense at all.
Well, we're not on your dunes now.
Perhaps the old
So this
man
shouldn't be
built a hole or something.
Or something's down there.
We can only hope.
Well, as much as I want to do this as fast as possible,
Marion,
we should wait for the others. Yes.
Earlier you called yourself my partner. You are not my partner. You are one of my pack.
Well, I'm like, how is that not your partner, or how do you define the pack thing?
What, wolves who run together?
No, I start to see what you mean. Well, essentially that is a partnership in a way, isn't it?
I hadn't heard this term before you mentioned it.
Well,
partner.
I think it's Well, I think it's quite fitting. We've been doing this for quite some time now.
Do you really think this could be it?
Hey, I told you I would help you find a big one, and
You did.
And you get a meaty slap on your shoulder.
well, I can't tell you what's down there, but it's definitely real, this thing, and it has been here. See, he says that and looks out over all the corpses.
Either way, we draw closer.
Yeah. Finally. He says, just looking down and reminiscing at something that makes him quite cheerful, I guess.
Okay.
Would be the appropriate word.
Yeah, Grash is is like the camera might pan up and to the right where Grash is, and he's just like big goofy smile, and it is a goofy smile with his tusks.
Yeah, they are beautiful.
So whilst this conversation's going on, what are Eri and Moore up to?
I think Eri laid out the humanoids and quickly just opened up his portable hole and pulled out some religious items.
I just thought you were about to put the bodies in there.
No, that's where my house is. Those bodies are covered in dirt.
Dirt.
I've been prestidigitating myself clean.
Portable
Okay.
hole for lonely nights.
More, what have you been up to? I'm just going to ignore that one.
What was it that you said that he found again? Like a silver brooch? Or...
A silver, no, I think I said brooch, but I meant to say locket on a chain.
May I investigate the locket?
Yeah, absolutely. Roll.
If only I had the ceremony spell.
Roll what?
Investigation.
It's fine. I have thaumaturgy.
12.
Okay, so you sort of roll it over in your hands and you find a wee sort of press button. It's just a tiny wee dimple that then flicks it open. And when you open it up, it's obviously got a wee glamour and you get a wee spell sort of, and then you just get, it's almost like a snapshot. You know, traditionally you get a wee thing with people's picture and it's just obviously a husband and a wife with their small child in the middle. Very happy looking humans, just gleaming smiles. It's a very simple thing. There's no backdrop or anything. You just get them, but it just seems to be, a lovely, happy picture of a close family. And then you look down at the ground, and that's probably who you've got in front of you.
Yeah. More will prestidigitate it to remove the dirt, the refuse, and then try and mend it if it's even possible. And then he'll also put that into the portable hole after showing it to Eri.
Yeah, I'm going to give me a moment. I will ask the Veil to make sure that their souls are not here.
Okay.
Of course.
And Eri turns their head up to the sky. She's like, "Hey, boo, it's me." I know I usually wait until nighttime to talk to you, but I can't see day or night in the cave, so let's say I messed up. If you could kindly check, and if these 3 people's souls have not been re-entered into your loving embrace, if you could do that, I'd really appreciate it, because I'm gonna burn them.
Jesus Christ. Roll, I don't know, roll I suppose what we're going to do is commune, but we're just going to say like it's going to be a wisdom saving throw, but you can add your Can
it be a charisma saving throw because I'm a warlock?
Oh yeah, sorry, yes, of course.
Because this is just me talking to my bro.
It surely must be strength because it's strength of conviction.
I'm a weak boy. I got an 18.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah. You just seem to get a fairly muted affirmative.
A veiled response.
Yeah, veiled response. Yes, indeed. But you feel that if, what you're getting is that the ceremony needs to be undertaken to allow the souls to go to them, and it's like you mustn't leave them. You must do what you're meant to do.
Yeah.
I think as we sort of pause for a moment for Eri to do that, and Grash and Marion sort of champing at the bit to go down the tunnel, I think we do take our break at this moment in time. I do like to be punctual.
Oh, indeed.
It's very, very punctual. But it's actually quite a good, because I can sort of see like Grash going, fuck's sake, no time for this shit, as Eri sort of takes a few minutes to do a very perfunctory, at least, funeral ceremony.
Oh, you haven't asked if we wait yet.
Well, that's fine.
We'll see.
We can cut back to you not waiting. That's not a problem.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are going for a quick break. Should be no longer than 5-10 minutes. We're just getting water, bathroom, etc. And we advise you do the same thing. Get up and stretch about.
Yes.
And we shall see you after the break. Good day, everyone. Bye.
Bye. Hello, welcome back. Hope you have managed to grab a drink, snack, and how do we move around? Terror has been waylaid and she'll rejoin us shortly, but we just thought we would keep going. He's not entirely sure how long he'll be. Could be 5 minutes, could be half an hour, who knows? So, as we stopped before the break, Eri had started to do a basic funeral rite, and I had incorrectly foreshadowed that Marion and Grash were just going to wait on her. So Marion and Grash, you do see Mor and Eri engaged in some chat, and then Eri starts taking things out of her portable hole and seems to be starting some sort of religious ceremony.
Yeah, Grash will sort of see that, and his movement will be to move forward. He won't be to wait around for this. He doesn't see the point of doing this now and not later. So
that's fine.
And he's expressed that, so he's just...
That's not a problem. I take it you see them moving off. It doesn't change anything to you, Eri?
Not at all.
No.
I got priorities.
When Terror comes back, I'll just let him decide if he stayed with Eri or whether he's followed behind you guys. But at this moment in time, he's staying with Eri. Make a perception check, both Marion, if you're following behind as well, and Grash.
Yeah, of course I would.
Perception 23.
Dirty 20.
Okay, so you go down this other corridor, for want of a better term, tunnel. As I described before, it's rough-hewn as well. It's obviously the wee gnomish miner has mined out some sort of vein that's come down here, and then it's obviously entered into another bigger nodule like the one before. It's not quite as large, this chamber that it goes into, and then there are two side tunnels that go off it about halfway down. And when you go into the other chamber, two things strike you both immediately. One, there is some sort of natural light, and as you look up, some sort of burrowing or tunneling has happened, and there is, whilst very rough, there is a shaft that goes directly up, and it is about 12 or 15 foot across. It's not like it's been machined. It's not an exact sort of thing. It's rough and there's bits sticking out. But it's about 12 feet across, and it goes straight up, and then you can see sunlight above you, and this is where the natural light has been coming from. Secondly, there is also a very large but roughly put together lean-to shelter at the far side of this thing. Currently empty, but it has lots of ferns and tree foliage and stuff that has been placed to make a sort of makeshift nest bedding for want here. Those are the first two things that leap out to you.
And that's just across the way. That's not like it's just one big opening with the hole coming on the top. There's no gap in the ground or anything like that we can see. It's just...
No. Obviously, it's wider across, so the tunnel isn't the opening above isn't above the whole room. So the shelter's been put to the side, so if rain or anything came down, it's not in the direct path of the shaft that's come down. The room's smaller than the other one, but it's still about 20 or 30 foot across, and the shaft going up is about 10 to 12 feet across, roughly.
Is the shack gnome-sized? Or is it big?
It's huge. It's huge.
Yeah.
It's much bigger. Both you and Grash could quite easily sleep in the bedding there.
Before Grash takes a step, he will sort of look back to Marion and just sort of give a nod. To kind of to go free, he knows he'll make too much noise, essentially.
Yeah. And I think this time he will just hold up a finger and scuttle off, just as a stealth maneuver, just to see if he can how do you say relocate to a better position, just to scout out the room some more.
Mm-hmm. Make an investigation check and a stealth check as well. So tell me which one first.
I've already rolled the crit, so I'm gonna use that. I'm gonna use that for an investigation.
That's fine.
And for my stealth, I rolled a mighty 11.
Okay. On the investigation, you see that near the shelter, and it's slightly under where this shaft comes down, you start to see there are small sort of gobbets of flesh and blood and things. And as you sort of pick them up and examine them, they are all muscle of larger creatures. And you find a few, and what you find is you find some that are cubes, and they are maybe like fist size, almost like they have been shaped into a perfect cube. And the other bits are almost like the trimmings, the same way as if someone's whittling wood, you get the wee bits that go down. That's what's left. So it's almost like this flesh brick, and then these whittled bits that have been left behind. They definitely seem related. And the shape of the flesh brick is not natural at all. The other thing you seem is next to that there are. What was your total? You got a natural 20. What was the actual total on your investigation?
Sorry.
No, don't worry.
No, I'm just gonna. 21. I have a +1.
You sort of, you think there's something odd there. There's just this small patch, and then there's almost like a shape, and you put down and just sort of put your finger in it, and you quite quickly whip it. You don't take any damage, but there just seems to be a tiny smearing of this acidic goop on the floor.
Can I look? I'm gonna look upwards to see if there's anything hanging from the ceiling.
And at that point, I'd like you and Grash to roll initiative.
Yes.
18.
Forgot I was not a dexterous boy. This is 13. Unlucky for some.
What you see on the ceiling, wait a sec, I'll just get all these numbers first. At the moment, Eri and Moore are not at this moment in time. Well, after the first round of combat, I will, well, or combat, whatever, the first round, whatever happens, I'll let Eri do a do a perception check to see if you hear what, dependent on what's happening. Ooh.
Well, my perception is -1, so good luck.
Yeah. Grash, what did you get again? Sorry.
13.
And Marion?
18.
Okay. 18. Marion, you are the first to react. As you look up, you see a hideous sight. A huge thing that you think, how did this thing you not notice it before? And you realize it's actually sort of wedged itself into a wee sort of strange nook above. But there is an almost perfect cube. It's about 15 feet across, and it is a hideous sight, but it seems to be made of individual of these flesh bricks that you've found on the floor. It's been crafted, and they all seem to iggle and wiggle and twitch and thing. And I'll just show you the token I've made.
What have you made, you crazy bastard?
I don't like this.
Oh my god.
That looks like bacon.
Is it? Did you make?
That's gross.
Bacon.
You make
I'll post it, that's actually a piece of modern art, but I'll post the link to the artist.
Yeah, it's gross.
Oh no, yeah.
Later on.
But this isn't
But
one of those
that's not.
glorified.
It's not a fig. It's not. The modern art is a drawing. It's not like a physical thing.
Okay.
good,
Whew,
because that shouldn't exist.
that's a nightmare.
We agree on that one.
I've called it. It is a
love
homebrew
it.
monster, but I have called it gelatinous flesh.
Yeah, you're gross. You're a disgusting human, and I'm not happy.
You don't want to see what I was googling. It's awesome.
I don't want to see your results. I do not want to see your results.
I actually don't want to see your internet history. Actually.
Yeah.
I feel bad for every
I will find-
every DM has the worst internet history.
So true.
Yeah.
Right. So you are first to react, and this thing is on the ceiling about 15 feet above you.
And I think he looks, as he looks up, he notices this big, disgusting thing. He, tilts the hat a bit upwards, and then he will just say, "Oh, didn't see you there," and cast Fairy Fire on it.
Oh,
Milady.
okay, yeah.
Yes, my guy.
Is that
Let's see,
a saving
how-
throw?
Saving throw.
It
Wisdom.
should be, yeah.
What type of saving throw are we rolling?
It's wisdom, I believe. If I remember my drow.
Second, it is a dexterity saving throw.
Oh, well, he rolls at -4, so that's a 12.
and it lands because I believe I have 14.
Ooh. That's why you're above it in
Yeah.
the initiative order, because it rolled a natural 20 for its initiative minus 4. 16.
Awesome! And then he will not stand under it. He will run back towards Crash.
And this thing will be like, I imagine going last after this thing. I imagine he just does a thing. I hear him talking. I maybe look over, and then it just becomes lit up. This gross thing.
Yes.
I have dark vision, but that's not quite the same as this thing in fairy fire color.
Yeah. Well, that's just what I was about to say. Is what does your fairy fire look like? We've never seen you actually cast a spell like this yet.
No, it's just one of these. When he flicked up the hat, it's actually a thing from his eye. It's he gets like this twinkle, and then a sort of stream starts to emerge a bit further away from him, and that just sprayed it with some magical colors that makes it shift between the colors green and purple.
Nice. I like it.
And it's meaty, so it's mystery meat.
Okay.
Don't want to eat.
Do you move out of the room or backing up the tunnel, or are you just moving over to where Grash is?
I'm gonna be in a place where it doesn't land on me if I can.
Well, I mean, that's easy enough to do. All I'm reminding you is that this room's only about 20 feet across.
No, I'm fairly certain I will just move back to my partner.
That's fine.
What will come, sir.
Yes. The gelatinous flesh is next to act, and it seems to detach itself from the ceiling, sensing something. And as I said, when this thing, all of the individual wee flesh bricks are all twitching and pulsing sort of individually, and it's just making this sort of horrible squeaking noise. And it moves towards you. Stops about 10 feet away from you. And as the first to see it, we sort of fleshy tendrils fire out to hit you. That gets a 10, an 8, and a 22. I take it the last one hits you.
A 22, you said? Yeah, it hits.
You take 12 points of bludgeoning damage and 2 points of acid damage.
Yikes.
And Grash, you are next.
Yeah, Grash is just gonna run up to this thing and just pick.
Yep.
25.
Hits.
I'm going to use a distracting strike on him.
Oh, okay.
So he will. So you can expend one superiority die to distract the creature, giving your allies an opening. You add the superiority die to the attack's damage roll. The next attack roll against the target by an attacker other than you has advantage if the attack is made before the start of your next turn. So yeah.
Sorry, I was about to say is one thing is the effects of fairy fire. Do you not already have advantage?
Oh,
you do. So it's lit up for one. Yeah.
No, roll again, in case you get a natural 20.
So that was. So sorry, that's confused me now. So the next attack roll against target by an attacker other than you has advantage if the attack is made. Do you not get advantage on it already, Marion?
Yeah, it has fairy fire
So
on
that
it. So
actually
for
does-
1 minute, we have advantage on it.
Okay, so that actually does nothing. So can I? He would have used
Yes.
that in battle before, so I'm just going to nix that.
Yeah, that's fine.
So war pick 1d8 plus 4. Do-do-do-do-do. It's pretty good. 6 plus 4, 10. So down with the war pick.
Yep.
And I'll roll with advantage this time, knowingly. For the longsword. Natural 20.
Nice.
Yes. So hold on. So did we agree that a crit you just use the
We're doing the new one. So with a crit, instead of rolling twice, we just say you do max damage on the first dice roll, so you don't roll it, and then you roll a second dice to add to it.
so that's 12.
This is to counter the fact that if you roll badly, sometimes a crit can be even
Yeah,
worse
it
than
doesn't
an
feel
ordinary hit.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of groups start to use this alternative, and I really like the sound of it. So I thought that. So with a longsword, it's a D8. So you just get an 8 for the first dice, and then roll a second dice to add it.
Sure, well, it's actually it's plus 4, so it's 12 total.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but you don't add the plus 4 to both dice. So that's
Okay, so we'll just go 8, and then the next one
yeah.
is a 6 plus 4, which is 10.
Yeah,
So
so
it's
18
18.
total.
But that also, the crit triggers my savage attacks.
Yes, that's correct.
When you score a critical hit with a melee weapon attack, you can roll of the weapon's damage dice one additional time and add it to the extra damage. So
you get another D8.
yeah, but it's not. It doesn't include the. Does that include the plus 4 or no? No.
It's just the flat dice roll for this.
7.
That's
So-
my boy.
25 damage with a single hit.
Yeah, so comes down with
with
the
a
pick.
non-magical longsword.
Yeah. Fighters.
And I think what you see is you're sort of, and you're actually carving off some of these chunks, so it's maybe like missing one of its corners now. That is fine. Any bonus action from Grash?
Can I hit again? Can I?
Do you have 2 attacks?
I have 2 attacks.
No, you've already hit twice. I think you can action surge if you want to.
Oh, okay. How's this thing looking? Will be my question.
I mean, it's got bits missing off it, but you've never seen anything like this. You really cannot. You cannot really ascertain if this is on the edge of death or you've merely tickled it.
We'll chop into croutons. See how that works.
I think as his bonus, he'll just shout,
This is not the quarry we looked for.
True. Okay. After your go, both you and Marion hear a gurgling and a slurping coming from the 2 side tunnels behind you as 2 lesser gelatinous fleshes come out of the tunnels behind you.
No.
"Wait,
Nah.
behind us."
Doesn't happen.
Yeah, there was 2 side tunnels coming up, so there's 2 smaller ones come out of the side tunnels behind you.
Look at that. That image is fucking worse.
Should the guys get like a perception roll? Because I've been shouting.
I said they would do that after the first full round.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
these
yeah.
things get to move first.
Yikes! Is all I got to say.
So they again are coming up. I'm afraid, unfortunately, Marion, you are the only person in their range.
Wonderful.
With these things on the stream, is there anything higher than an 18 plus?
It's going to rush towards you, Marion, and basically try and force you inside it. And I need you to make a DC 12 dexterity saving throw.
That's an 18.
Okay, so you managed to sort of jump out of its way, but it's quite clearly it's trying to engulf you within its form. And the other one, a fleshy arm comes out and tries to attack you again, the same as the other one. That is only 12. I take it that, I think that misses you, does it?
Yeah,
12?
that's a miss.
Okay. Moore and Eri, if you can both make perception checks at this moment in time. It's going to be like DC 10. It's not going to be a difficult one at all. Oh,
21.
Okay.
I got a 13.
Right. Both of you make initiative rolls now.
Six.
7.
Okay. In that case, it is back to Marion, who's top of the round, who's not got his headphones on and is being assaulted by a cute dog.
There you go.
Sorry, getting puppy
No,
assault.
don't worry. Yeah, don't worry. I was just saying it's back. It's back to your turn. So you've got a big cube in front of you and two small balls behind you.
I'm gonna have to go for the big one.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah. So, 11 plus 6, 17.
So you moving towards, because it's a wee bit in front of you.
Yeah,
You moved away of it. Right.
Yeah, I am.
Luckily, you don't move out of their range because they have a reach, so you're not actually getting attacks against you. Sorry, what did you roll there?
A 17 to hit.
17 hits.
Okay, so damage. So on my normal attack die, that's 6. So 3 plus 3. Yeah, that's 6.
Yep.
And then 2 more d6s from my sneak attack. That's 5 plus, so an additional 7 points of damage. And as a bonus action, I'm gonna chug my healing potion. If we're
Okay.
still running with those rules.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So it is the large flesh's turn next.
Bring it.
It was
And it-
2d4 plus 3. This one.
2d4 plus 2.
Plus 2. Okay.
Yeah. It's going to attempt to do the same thing as the last one on Grash. This one is trying to engulf you. It is a bigger one, so I need you to make a DC 18 dexterity check. Saving throw, I should say.
Yeah. Dexterity, you say?
Yes.
Main stat.
Yeah, sure. Main stat. That's nope. 19 natural.
And then, are you flat, or do you still have bonuses to that?
Oh, plus 1. So dirty 20.
That's fine. So again, nothing happens. But you can sense it pushes you back about 5 feet, but you can see all these bricks sort of squirming and things and trying to like.
It's almost
move
like opening.
space
It's almost
so
like
it
going,
can. Yes, to try and get you inside it. Yeah,
that's
absolutely.
gross.
It's also going to make 2 attacks. First is a 15.
Miss.
And the second is a natural 20.
Oh, yeah. That'll hit.
So
Hit, just to confirm.
that does Fucking hell, I rolled big there. Does 35 bludgeoning damage and 14 acid damage.
Dead.
You're down.
Yeah.
Holy crap.
35 damage. I have like 41 total.
Damn.
So, can I just get the damage numbers again just to see how much I'm under?
Oh, you're not. It's not double. It's 35 and 12.
So yeah, no, we're good. But I'm down. So you'll see Grash fall to the ground, limp, and then you'll see him sort of come back up to his feet.
Yes, that orcish endurance or whatever it's called, isn't it? Relentless endurance. Is that what it's called?
Yep.
And this thing hits like a fucking train. It's like,
It sure does.
yeah, that was unfortunately natural 20. And I will have to say, on the non-rolls, I rolled close to maximum damage on the bits that I rolled as well.
Yeah.
But of course, the rules that we've changed with crits, that makes crits against you all the more dangerous as well, because the monsters are getting the same rules.
What?
That's not fair.
Oh,
Yeah.
It's
I can't
totally
be the hero.
It's totally fair.
I can't be the hero if I'm not cheating.
It's my story.
I like to use combo points to do that.
Next, it is Airy.
Huh?
No, it's not. It's Crash. Sorry, it's Crash first.
Huh.
That's what I assumed.
Yes, sorry, I'm missing Crash.
We're in the way back.
Yes.
Remember advantage. Remember advantage.
I will have to make myself unforgettable. You!
Okay, so couple things happen. So first of all, second wind. Roll
Is that
max
bonus action?
second wind.
It's not an
Bo-
action. It's just a
bonus.
thing.
It's a bonus.
No.
No,
Is
it
it?
says bonus. So your bonus actions, second wins, and he actually rolled full on that.
Oh, sorry. It's action surge. That's not
Action surge is free action.
Yeah, that's yeah. Sorry,
So
confused
he-
those two.
Alright.
It's good. So he goes back up to. He's at 16. Still looks rather. Let me just. I have to think about this one. Okay. Okay, no need to use that. Okay, so he's just going at this dude with actually we agreed, didn't we, the last time that it's actually he's not doing either hand. It's like he's attacking with the pick twice, right? Yeah. So pick. He's gonna take down this brick the only way he knows how. Okay, well that's not a natural 20, unfortunately. But it is a 21.
It definitely hits.
Okay. 7 plus 4, 11.
Yep.
And he's sort of screaming like raw as he's doing
And I
it.
think as you're carving into it now, when you're carving in, you're sort of knocking a couple of the bricks away, and then like maybe more of them are sort of tumbling. It's almost as though there's something keeping it together, sort of starting to break down a little bit, and it's sort of like one side of it now is looking like pretty fucked up and not there anymore. But there's piles of wee squirming flesh bricks around your feet.
More.
Nah, don't like this.
Natural 20.
Nice.
Oh, the advantage is good. The advantage is good.
Anything you can do, I can do better.
Yeah. Probably. You're hitting for 35. Yeah, so it's just... So 8 plus 5 plus 4 is 9 plus 9, 17. And then Savage Critical goes off again for another 6, 25. Action Surge.
Nice.
That is a 19 to hit.
Hits.
Okay. Actually, it's a dirty 20. Excuse me.
Still hits.
So it's like...
Are you still rolling all of these at advantage because of the fairy fire?
Yes, I am.
Yeah.
Oh, that's full. So that's 8 plus 4 is another 12.
Yeah.
And an action will give me another shot, won't it?
Yeah.
So it's a case of it's like, like it's like he's already dead. He says, "Gone." Natural 20.
What?
Yes, I'm never changing these die. So
The way of the fighter hit it a lot.
yeah, 5 plus 4, 9 plus 8 again, 17 plus the criticals plus 7, 24. He's breathing heavy, and I don't think Mario had probably never seen him have to go. Like I'm not sure how many times he would have seen him. He probably would have seen him get back up again, but like he could see he didn't. A lot of times, Rash gets up and finishes the job, but it's like he's just like, especially after expending all of that.
And again, sorry, on you go.
I was gonna say, and then Squid reveals it's immune to non-magical weapons.
That will be an issue later.
Would
in the
not
campaign.
surprise me.
I considered it, but no.
It's
You're too-
weapons wielded by.
You're too low level for that. But you can see that, again, you're still finding it really difficult to gauge. Obviously, you're quite obviously hurting it because you're carving bits and pieces off, but you have no frame of scope to really judge whether, again, this is being tickled or whether it's on the edge of death or not. I think if it kills you or you kill it, it's going to be a surprise which one does it first, sort of thing.
Glorious.
Indeed. Eri, it is you next, however.
I think Airy hears the grunting,
And straight up roaring at this stage.
straight up screeches,
No, not
And-
screeches.
straight up loud noises, and will kind of gently set down the funeral items, turn on their heels, and just book it.
So we'll say that putting things down gently is your bonus action, and you can use 30 feet of movement to get to the end of the tunnel, at which point you see the back of Marion and Grash fighting what seems to be just a wall of flesh in front of you, and between you and them are two small balls of flesh as well that seem to be... you've never seen anything like this at all. I should say the first one's like 12, 15 feet square. The balls are about 5 feet diameter.
Ugh. Yeah, disgusting. I'm gonna go and I have to see if this is a bonus action to do, unfortunately. It is fine, it's a bonus action. I shoot it with magic.
What kind?
I lift hold on. I cast Eldritch Blast.
Wait, are you a warlock?
I am. 22 And
Hits.
natural 20.
Hits.
So first one, 6 damage. Second one, 16 damage.
So what's that total?
22 force damage.
And you see what? Well, actually, we've not. Have we seen you fire Eldritch? Yes, you did.
No.
We saw them.
No, he didn't Eldritch
Did
blast
we
them.
not see you fire them?
Yeah, you did once.
Oh, I did.
episode
I
one?
did. Yeah, I did. It was weird shadow balls.
Yeah, that's right. So you see them come in, and you don't get the same sort of visual, because usually you're seeing them sort of hit a person's armor or whatever and sort of splash almost sort of the eldritch magic. This seems to sort of absorb it and go inside it, but whatever it does, it's still effective, as the one that you hit just seems to and just fall to pieces, and there's now just small writhing twitching fleshy bricks all over the floor, where it sort of just disseminates into its parts.
Guys, what the heck are you attacking?
Cubes of meat.
Have
He
those
says as
fools
he's-
finally arrived?
I don't like this.
Moving about, dodging whatever he can.
More, you are next.
He will run.
So you can use 30 feet and be basically shoulder to shoulder with Eri. So you've got the
Yeah.
same view.
What are those?
Meat cubes.
That's new to me. I'm guessing it is anyway.
Yes, it's new to all of you. Absolutely. I'm not going to lie. You are the first 4 people on the entire ribbon to have ever seen these.
Well then, goodbye. And he uses Scorching Ray
Mm-hmm.
on all of them.
Okay.
Let's ranged spell attack for each ray.
So there's 2 that you can see. I take it you're targeting the one that's closest to you first, and if you do it ray by ray, and then we'll see what happens.
Yeah, sure.
They hit harder than they look.
They're more than meets the eye. Let's see. Crooked. Does 12 hit?
The one closest to you, yes, it does.
Right. He takes 9 fire damage.
Yep. Singed smell of burnt flesh starts to fill the air.
The next one is an 18.
Hits.
8 damage.
Yep. Still, there's sort of smoke starting to prick at people's eyes and sting a little bit, but it has not fallen to pieces like the one next to it yet.
8.
An 8 misses.
Right, and that's my action.
Okay.
Do they not get advantage as well, or is it on the other one?
It's
Only on the big
it's only the big one that gets advantage because it's got fairy fire on it. They weren't close enough to be in the area of effects. Yeah, it's only what was in the area at the point of casting.
Mm-hmm.
So this thing, it sees because there's no eyes or anything. You've no idea how these things are perceiving or anything. Not truly sure I know exactly how these things.
It's magic.
Yeah.
Use your imagination.
And it just starts rolling towards Mor and Eri, the smaller one. I'm going to roll a d6, and on a 1 to 3 it goes after Mor, and on a 4 to 5 and 6 it goes after Eri. rolls a 1. So this targets Mor, who is the one that has just attacked it. And you see it basically spin towards you and then bounce and come down on top of you. And I need you to make a DC 12 dexterity saving throw, Mor.
Righto. Oh my. Now, an 8.
An 8
Wait.
not.
Oh, yeah.
Is an 8, is it? Yes, okay. So this thing comes down squarely on your head, and you feel the muscles tensing and squeezing as it forces itself down over the top of you, and you're now stuck amongst it in total. And you immediately take, I rolled really badly there, 8 bludgeoning damage.
Lucky
I'm
fuck.
a mage. Anything is bad.
Oh yeah, fair.
And you are engulfed, you're unable to breathe, are fully restrained.
Yikes.
Yes, yikes.
Gross.
indeed. That is the round over, and we are back to Marion.
I must
Very
have it again.
excited.
Yeah, I'm gonna stab it again. Throwing out all my dice, trying to find the D20. Okay, so 15 plus 6, 21.
Absolutely hits.
Okay, so 8 on the cutlass, plus 6, plus 2.
So 16.
So that's 18. No, is it? Yeah, probably is. Yeah.
8 plus 6 plus 2. That's what you said anyway.
Yeah, that's exactly what I said. Yeah.
I mean, I count up for a living, so.
I do too. Sort of. But I use a lot of more decimals in my equations.
I deal with money, so it's, anyway.
Oh,
No, it's not. It's not on the nice side of money. Yep, it seems to absorb the same thing. More and more of these fleshy bricks, for want of a better term, seem to dissipate from it. It's definitely getting lesser. There's all sorts of bits carved off it.
Can
Is
this
there,
name?
like,
Can the name of
any-
the? Can I just have a thought? My brain is doing a stupid thing. Can the name of the monster be Brick and Mortis?
Yes.
That's dope,
Yes,
right?
that's great. Or that's what we're gonna
I
call
love
it.
it personally. I'm happy.
Oh,
with it. It's not
Marion's
mine,
gonna steal that one for the A Tavern Story.
All right, that's fair enough. Do you have another attack, Marion?
Well, you said a lot of pieces are falling off
Yeah.
of it. Can I? Is there anything different within it, like a core of some sort of substance, or is it just more fleshy flesh? Can I use a bonus action to see something?
Yeah. I'll let you use your bonus action to make a perception check.
Aw, you're too kind. Okay, so that's a 15 on the die, plus 22 total.
Okay. You look across to the one that's been killed and is falling to pieces. And in amongst all the fleshy lumps and things, you seem to see what is like a human heart, or certainly a human-sized heart. And as you turn back to the one in front of you, just some of the way the bricks have come, you seem to see something pulsing in the middle of it. Bigger,
Rad.
bigger beastie, bigger heart. That ain't no human heart in there.
Oh, that was great.
May even be from a hill giant, perchance.
Oh,
Dun, dun, dun.
Nice rhyming. I like that one as well. I think Mario will just point that out, and if he can, for Grash to notice.
That ain't no regular
Strike
heart.
that.
Yeah.
I'll see what I can do. It's his turn next.
It is his turn next.
Oh, damn it! He's before you on the turn order?
Yes.
Yes.
I'll just wait here for my turn then.
I also don't think I can keep up this natural 20 run.
It is going to continue lashing out at Grash.
He's gonna die.
19 is his first roll.
Oh yeah, that hits. Yeah,
He's gonna die.
yeah, very possibly.
If only we had a healer.
We need a healer. I'm holding up for a healer till the end of the night.
So 6 points of bludgeoning damage and 5 points of acid damage.
God.
I need a hero.
What's 5 and 6 together?
11.
11. Do you have 1 hit point left?
Listen, don't you worry about it, Grash.
Second roll is a 10, which I believe misses.
Misses. Grash will repost.
Ah, okay, yeah.
So with that, when a creature misses you with a melee attack, you can use your reaction to expend 1 superiority die to make a melee weapon attack against the creature.
Absolutely, go for it.
Here we go. Oh, is it with advantage?
Still, yes, because it's still got the fairy fire. Because it's 10 rounds the fairy fire lasts for.
Yes, 1 minute.
Chat, kiss the dice. We need this to work, okay?
Mwah.
And with the longsword,
You're not chat.
with the
I'm
longsword,
chat now.
he is going to aim for this heart.
That's not a heart.
That is not a natural 20. So, sorry guys. No, too late then.
You didn't kiss enough.
Didn't kiss enough. Not enough smooches. Okay, so that's a 20, not a dirty 20 rather.
Oh yeah, it absolutely hits.
Yeah. So lunging forward, and that's a cocked eye. Full. So 12 points of damage from that,
Yep.
and just
Same reaction as before. It seems to have
very little.
more, yeah, but more and more of these. I mean, because both of you have but if you take the amount of the bricks being thing, it seems to be pretty badly injured. If you take that as a gauge of how much damage you've done to it.
Well, specifically with the repost, he was aiming for the heart area. I know. I'm not saying he hit it, but was there a different reaction when he got near it, or?
No, doesn't seem.
No?
It's just it's just you're stabbing it and things, and bits of it are sort of falling away, but it's not really reacting at all like a person would.
So yeah.
Any bonus action?
Oh no, that's just my reaction. My reaction.
Oh,
to
that was your
missing.
reaction.
Yeah.
So missing. Sorry, it had another attack. Oh shit! I'd rolled it. I didn't look. Sorry.
This might be all.
That is a 22.
Goodbye, gentlemen.
That is, I'll roll a little bit better this time. That is 12 points of bludgeoning damage and 3 points of acid damage.
15 total. Grash is no more.
Grash on the ground. And that is it. Creature's over. Grash is next, so I need you to make a death saving throw straight away.
Mm-hmm.
Grash.
Cock die. 19.
Okay, that's fine. Eri, it's you.
Am I
You
within
have seen
30?
this thing.
Yep. Am I within
So
30 feet
you've
of
got
her?
2 things, just before anything, you've got 2 things going on. You've seen Grash fall to the ground, and you have seen Mor be engulfed by this thing next to you.
Is Grash within 30 feet of me?
No. That tunnel's 60 feet long.
Well, that answers what I'm gonna do.
And he's in the room, so he's probably about 80 or 90 feet away from you.
I forgot I had a familiar. That's what I'm gonna do. My familiar is going to dash to Grash and supplant itself on his face. And I'm going to cast Cure Wounds through my pixie.
Yeah, that's fine. So, Grash, you wake up with a pixie's arsehole sort of sitting on your nose.
I rolled
Please
3
don't.
ones, so you heal for 7.
Welcome back.
I
Please
think
tell
all
me
Grash
the
does
pixie-
is he coughs blood onto the
Oh,
pixie.
nope, sorry. My dice are weird. One of these ones is a 7. They look the same.
Oh,
That's fine.
okay.
So you healed for 13.
So that's better.
You have an invisible pixie on your face.
Smells like cotton candy.
It smells like cotton candy.
Achoo!
And I forgot that I had that whole
Mechanic.
aspect of warlockery.
Yep.
that was a thing.
I'll be right back.
And yeah, I, as an action, I will whip my hair back and forth. No, I will cast Veil's Flame on the big chungy cube man. So dexterity saving throw, please.
18 minus 4,
You
14.
fuck.
He fails
You bastard.
by 1. So that is 2d. I have a lot of spells that use d8s. That's like my go-to spell. 4 radiant damage.
Oh! It shut. No, it doesn't. It seems to.
I think-
a single brick goes tumbling out of.
I think for this spell, since it's flavored, I think rather than like a bolt of radiant damage, it's more of a pillar of smoke comes out of the ceiling and just like spears through it and then dissipates. Still radiant, but radiant shadow.
It's radiating. Yeah.
Okay. More, it is your go, and at the beginning of your turn,
Oh, this is gonna
you
hurt.
take 25 points of acid damage.
Holy shit.
Goodbye, old friend.
Is this creature undead?
No.
It's very alive.
Are you unconscious as well, are you?
Yeah, I had 17 HP. I'm a wizard.
Okay.
You're a wizard, are you?
That is Moore's goal. It is the small gelatinous flesh's turn next. It's going to continue to squeeze you, so you instantly take 1 failed death saving throw. And then we are back to Marion.
What's going on, Marion?
Killing the big one.
I
he-
think the small one ate more.
Can't hear you.
Oh no.
He will attempt to strike at the hard thing that he noticed the turn before.
I'll handle it. It's fine.
Still up with advantage because it's still within 10 turns of your fairy fire.
Thank God. Yeah. So the first roll was a nat 1, and the second one's a 17. So 17 plus 6, that's 23. Much prefer that one.
Definitely hits, yes.
And that's a 2 plus 3 on the main damage die. So
Okay.
5.
And you're still getting
Plus-
sneak attack because Grash, although he is lying on the ground at the moment, he's still there.
And it wouldn't have mattered if it was just me and him, because if there's it's Swashbuckler has this dueling thing essentially. So if it's just 1-on-1, I still get sneak attacks.
Oh, of course, that's one of your class. I forget that that's one of your class things anyway. You get
He's pretty
sneak
sweet.
attack every round.
Yeah, it's great. Okay,
Don't
so
worry,
I roll.
See, I just put these things in my memory that you will find you'll be meeting a enemy swashbuckler in some future story arc.
Oh, we're gonna do the ending scene from Pirates of the Caribbean.
He's a pirate.
Yeah. Okay,
we're
so
gonna have a
the
deep sea adventure.
sneak attack was 6 total damage for the sneak attack.
Okay.
So 11 total. It wasn't massive, but
Okay. Any bonus action or movement?
let's see. No, I think I'm gonna be standing here.
Okay. It is large gelatinous flesh. It's kind of going to ignore Grash at the moment because it's not seen the invisible pixie heal him. So it still thinks it's done. So it's going to make 3 attacks against Marion.
No!
First is a 22.
Hits.
Second is a 16.
Miss.
And third one's a 12.
Miss.
So, that's only 1 off maximum damage though. So you take 21 points of bludgeoning damage
Not cool.
and 4 points of acid damage.
Okay. So that's 25.
Cool. And that is its go. It is Grash.
Focus on me.
Out of the pixie's invisible like body, you hear Ares' voice of like, "Don't die again."
What?
Gets distracted.
Disadvantage.
Actually, he kind of will just purely, probably not even hear it. As he blood rages and just stands up and just swings like a mother trucker. 17 plus 4, 21. Actually, plus 7, 24.
Yep.
6 plus 4, 10 points of damage on the first strike.
Yes.
Shuna, guide me. No. Well, it's not a natural 20. So I sound disappointed, but he had a really good start to this fight. 21.
21 hits, yeah.
Full on that. So 12 points of damage.
So as you take your second strike, you maybe get in the blood rage, you've not been targeting, but this time your strike comes straight down and cleaves this huge giant heart in two, and it just crumples. Whatever's been connecting all these bits of flesh just ends, and it's but you can see, whilst the individual ones are still twitching and writhing, you can see as a collective
The construct
force,
is gone.
it is gone. It is definitely dead.
Well, I think in that killing blow, all that Grash can hear is his own heartbeat, and it's an irregular heartbeat. He's hearing
Nice.
like war drums and pounding on his chest. And he's just kind of stood there, bait up basically, and he just sort of turns around to the guys behind him.
This one is done.
Mhm.
He spits at it.
You've still got half movement if you want to start up the tunnel, or
Yeah, he'll start up the tunnel.
because you can see that you've not aware exactly what's happened to Moore, but you can see the other one at the far end of the tunnel that's gone up there, and Airy
Sure.
standing next to it.
Yep. I'll head back that way.
Cool.
And I'll glug down. Can I glug down a healing potion as a bonus?
Yeah, taking one yourself is a bonus action. Feeding it to another person is an action.
No, he's feeding it to himself.
Yeah.
What's the
2d4 plus 2.
Okay, 4, 5 plus 2, 7. So, up to 20.
Eri,
Yo.
it is you.
Eri, realizing that Grash is alive, will grip their spear, halberd, polearm thing, and it just gets coated in a sheet of black in the usual blade blade, and cuts it.
That's easy for you to say. What Jabber's trying to say is Vale's blade.
Yeah, that one. Are we in dim light?
Yes, dim light.
I have advantage. Darkness is my friend.
I was born in it.
I did not get anything good, but I hope an 11 hits.
An 11 just hits.
3d8. 8, 4, 4 plus numbers. I don't add anything to it. Just 8, 4, 4. So 16 psychic damage.
Yes, and you kill this one. And in the same way, it sort of deconstructs into all its wee lumps, and Mor's unconscious body slumps to the ground in amongst it all.
Yeah, and I used my bonus action, so I will wait on the precipice of my turn to heal him.
Mor, I need a death saving throw. If it's a natural 1, you're a goner, but anything else, you'll be okay.
It's okay. Terror's known for his awesome rolls.
Yeah. 3.
Okay, it's 2 fails, but that's fine.
That's good. As long
Can-
as it's not a 1.
I take
just
it.
add-
Okay, on you go.
Yeah, that when he's laying there slumped, his familiar sort of comes out of the shuffles of his robes and seems to be pulling.
Familiar.
Yeah, the old owl will appear out of the folds of his robes and will be seeming to indicate a scroll case, sort of nudging at a scroll case.
Okay.
He's trying to rob him.
Oh shit.
I take it somebody is going to feed him a healing
No,
potion.
I use my warlock feature to just blob gooey shadow on his face.
Grash is stamping on the hearts of these things.
That's fine.
You heal 1. But
So
you
you-
get 1 additional temporary HP.
So you come back to consciousness, and we are officially out of combat.
Was it a scroll of animate dead? Is that why you want to seize it?
I enjoyed that.
That was really,
immensely.
really like for the audience. What a really good D&D combat is when it's close, and that could have gone south had a couple of things gone wrong. Like a couple.
Yeah.
There's like 2 things. If I'd have been engulfed early. Yeah.
If I had failed my perception.
Yeah.
I actually think it did go a lot of south. Actually,
You definitely didn't
Oh.
want the big one to. You didn't want the big one to engulf you. That's for sure.
I do have a question.
Yes.
On Terra's first death save, was he not unconscious? Would that not be like a auto crit? Or how are you doing that?
I don't like that rule, so
I hate
just,
it too, but like I just
Yeah.
didn't know how you're playing it. Cool.
It's usually meant to be 2 failed death saves,
Yeah.
but I just like it's just 1 because it feels a bit cheap.
No,
to,
I agree.
To me,
I
to
agree.
be honest with you, because that would
Totally
have been him dead.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
I think that's too quick to kill a character. I'm not scared to kill a character, but that
Clearly.
that would be a bit cheap.
I like
Clearly.
this encounter,
Yeah, it was
and I
awesome.
hate- and I don't like these things.
Brick
So-
and Mortis
no.
will go down in history.
Oh, it will.
when
Also, don't split the party. We do this.
Let's just
because
say the
you
characters
did
may
that.
have learned
It's
some
too
lessons.
somewhat fitting.
you and Grash did that, and to be
Yeah.
fair, it was only 60 feet.
Yeah,
And it was also completely in character.
yeah. Also, so, but yeah, don't Don't. It never ends well.
I'm good at rolling ones on healing. Don't mind me.
Dude, sometimes that's all you need.
That's all you need. Gotta get them up.
When Moore gets up,
Yeah.
he just seems to vomit like black ichor from his mouth, as he seems to be almost choking as he's just.
Is his mask off?
No.
So it's just
No,
black
through the
ichor
hole.
coming down his front.
Through the little hole.
Like a
Oh,
fucking
shit.
jet.
There's actually a hole in his mask. I didn't realize.
Yeah, in the mouth.
Yeah.
But I
Precious
wasn't
things.
sure if that whole thing was a visage. If it was like a solid thing, and even the eye. But it's not. Those are eye holes and a mouth hole.
Yes.
Cool. Good to know.
And nose hole.
And a nose hole. Okay.
Two.
Guys, please. It was a quick ritual. I don't know why you had to come over here and invest. It's not going to go anywhere.
You should have been here.
You should have been back there.
And Marion leans on his cutlass, point down, almost using it as a crutch. He's blooded. He's not feeling well. Look, we didn't know how long that was going to take, and
It was a worthy battle.
And those of you that have actually been hit by the creatures, where the hits have, and you got the acid damage, you've now got this sort of winced skin that's almost like really, really bad sunburn or something like that. So it's not doing you any lasting damage, but it's still
Tight and sore.
annoying and painful.
With a
look
flourish,
at my clothes.
with a flourish of his cloak and a twirl of his pole arm, Airy walks back to the bodies.
Harry, wait.
Oh shit! What happened to you?
Next time, could you use one of these scrolls instead?
I
I felt
you were dying.
Yeah, but these scrolls, they work better on me
what are
now
they-
that I'm so old.
What are they scrolls of?
It's the spell. Whenever Right.
What spell? If I have to read it as I'm in the middle of combat, it's gonna make it slow down.
It's called Garazon's hand.
Can't
It's here
cast
in
that.
it's in the scroll kit.
But
case.
I don't know that spell, so I can't.
No,
cast
but you
it.
can use the scroll.
Not if you don't know the spell.
Of course you can.
You can.
Not with scrolls. That's with wands.
No, the scrolls. There is a. You have to do a roll, and there is a chance that it may fail.
Yeah.
Oh,
Casting
I
level
just
thing, isn't
couldn't
it?
do it.
So it's
Yeah,
above. If it's above
high
your
level.
casting level, it can.
I thought you could only cast scrolls that were in your class spell list.
Magic users.
Oh, right. Sorry. Yeah. Oh no, that is true. But this is a. That is a
Homebrew.
That's the one that we. It's a homebrew, so
Yeah.
it is okay.
It's a
Sorry,
homebrew. It's in
I'm
nobody's
forgetting.
spell list.
Yeah.
And also everybody's.
Yeah. And also everybody's.
Okay. got
Sorry,
it.
you are absolutely correct, but this is a homebrew thing that Tara and I put
Right.
up, so you can absolutely use it. But in character, Eri would be
Yeah,
absolutely right, because it would be a spell that she'd not heard of, or they'd not heard of.
I don't know what the spell is, so let me see the scroll. Let me look at it. I get the understanding more.
Okay. And he
Stop
sort of
vomiting.
vom. And
It's like
he'll open the scroll case and he'll hand you one of the scrolls, and he
You're going
just
to be
seems
sick.
to be shivering to himself.
Yeah.
what is this? What does the spell do?
Let me look.
You surrender your soul to the dark gods, so this.
It'll grant him like a 1d4 HP.
My spells are better than this.
But it's due to an old oath I took.
All right, I'll
I-
I'll use the scroll next time. If I have time to search through your pockets and find the scroll, I will use it.
Thank you. Motherfucker.
I cast Cure Wounds on him. No.
No.
Um, do we want to quickly do? You can, if you've got any investigation, find out anything that may be here, and then we can think about wrapping up the stream.
Yeah.
So, who's doing what?
Marion
Oh.
investigates.
I'll check out the shed.
Oh, yeah.
Or is that
The
for next?
lean-to.
Is that for next time?
No.
Yeah.
No. It's just a wee lean-to. I mean, you've already sort of seen. There's not really anything there. The only real thing here is the remnants of the creatures.
Yeah. Okay.
And all of you that want to can roll a medicine check.
Can I ask what a lean-to is?
I mean, it's literally just bits of wood that are propped up at the side of the cave wall.
Okay, thanks.
11.
So it's a very basic shelter. It might have been when you were away, and it explained that there was
A lot of hunters make
Fo-
lean-tos.
yeah,
It's like a temporary.
structure, and then
Yeah.
you'll use foliage as a sort of bed from the ground and stuff. As
Like a
well.
wind shelter, essentially.
Yep, exactly that.
I don't know if it's the same. We call them bivouacs as well.
Same, yeah.
That
I've
sounds
never
almost
heard of
like
that
a-
word.
That sounds
Being
like a
quick.
D&D
I
monster.
don't know.
It's a
I
scouting
don't
word.
know. Yeah, I don't.
Bivouacking.
It sounds Native American Indian to me, but I,
I think
don't know
it
if that's
probably
true.
came from that, but I think it sounds that way at least.
The bivouac is attacking.
The bivouac.
Anyway, we're getting bogged down.
Yeah,
Roll the 12.
apologies.
I got 11.
Okay. 12, 11, what else?
8.
Who have we not had? More.
Moore is
Listen.
not doing anything. He's just.
All right,
nothing
Morris,
to-
deliberately not doing anything. Okay. Well, with those rolls, I don't think you get much more than what Marion did when he first found that solo brick of flesh. So it really just reconfigures that. Is all of the bricks are fairly uniform in a way that is surprising. They have definitely been shaped with surgical tools to form the forms that they have. None of them are natural muscle shapes or anything like that. They've definitely been, as I say, I use the analogy as like they've been whittled or shaped with a knife or something. But the medicine checks are not good enough to get anything particularly more than that.
I think Grash just picks up one of the random segments of it that still may be wriggling,
Yeah, it's not even. It's almost like if you
slapping.
put your hand on your bicep and sort of tense it, so it's like tensing and untensing underneath his hands.
Yeah, and he will just sort of say,
In another lifetime, this would have been a worthy trophy. Not now.
and he'll just squish it.
I would like a little trophies.
Well, something definitely made this thing. That's for sure.
This is not an animal.
This is something else.
Well, it kind of looks like the hearts are not from. It's
I think it was you kind of were the one who investigated to the level where you assumed perhaps a hill giant heart might have
Yes.
been correct. So
so.
you can put that together.
Yeah. Well, that hill giant we found before, maybe, if I remember correctly, he had its heart ripped out from the
Yes,
first episode.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, it would. The hill giant we encountered a few days ago. Well, it does look like this is its heart.
We are on the right track.
Yeah, indeed we are. But damn, what could have done this?
I do not know.
Sort of carelessly looks back towards the magic users.
Maybe they know something.
Maybe. He's sort of straining to hold himself up because that was one hell of a beating he took from the last attack.
What I do know is our path and trail grows warmer.
Yes, it certainly does.
Would you like a
Well-
potion of healing?
You know what? I actually think I might need one.
Grash will just take out. He has 3 on him, so he takes out a second one, just hands it over.
Shugs it straight away.
Cool. Do you investigate anything else in here, or do we finish today's stream as you slowly make your way back out of the mine and sort of back into daylight?
Well, he did say, the gnome, that the big creature he saw was in the room before. So I think I would like to examine just this room a bit more, see if there's like a stone
what
left
you
unturned
did-
or something.
From what you did before, the only exits are the way you came in and the shaft going up.
I
yeah.
I would definitely. Grash is going to, as he's put as Marion put 2 and 2 together, and has linked the 2 sites, and perhaps the 3 sites. Grash is going to do a careful study for footprints, familiar markings, things like that. So, 23 survival check.
Yep, absolutely. In amongst this is the bit where there was little bit of blood and gore and a little bit of the sort of gelatinous acid is just underneath the tunnel. You just make out the faint outline of a footprint, as though someone stood there and then leapt upwards.
Yeah, I think with
And I think sorry to cut you off.
oh yeah, no, I was just going to say, and I think with it like a careless malaise, an injured malaise, he sort of just kicks the dust out of the way of the footprint and just points down to Marion.
Yeah, he's been here.
And I think with a 23 at that point, your eye line, you sort of tilt your head up and you think you can see a couple of dislodged rocks and things that might have been where somebody gripped and then catapulted themselves up a little bit higher again.
I think with that too, I think Grash is especially in his injured state, his more frail state, he sort of looks up and goes, "Oh!" Like there's sort of a realization of like, what could possibly be scaling all of this with such ease?
And with that, can I get Grash as he's looking up to make a dexterity saving throw?
Dex, huh? I can't do it with my muscles, no. Oh god, 8.
Okay. A family of pheasants seem just to hit you in the face. More pheasants. And you take 4 bludgeoning damage, 1 per pheasant. But you seem to have broken their fall, and after some squawking and that, they run off down the corridor.
I crack one of their necks. I crack one of their necks.
That's fine. Yeah, you get a second. That's not a problem. I'll not make you roll.
Yeah. Sweet.
Sorry, I just thought that's a
Return
nice
of the
way
Pheasants.
straight with like Grash getting hit in the face with a pheasant.
Yeah, it's just a mess of fur, and by the time the feathers fall, you realize he's after snapping a neck off of one, and he's just like utilizing it already. So that's 4 damage. Okay, I wasn't expecting that. I do like that though.
And they're sorry, on you go, Terror.
No, I was gonna say, like, during their second investigation, I think Moore may have regained himself at least enough to want to check out the cubes and figure out anything about them, because it's very...
Yeah, fine. You do a medicine check. That's not a problem. Natural 1. Yeah, you don't get any more information than the others did.
I think without making a roll, just character wise, putting something together, I think Grash will sort of.
The previous scalpings were cleaner than this,
and he'll pick up and show 2 separate bricks that are not the same shape.
Mm-hmm.
You're right. Could be from different things.
Something else might have done this.
You think there's 2, you mean?
Maybe. We
No,
should
that
be
will
so
not
lucky.
be good. Well,
I need to
I
rest.
don't know.
Yeah.
He's just holding his ribs.
And I think we can sort of end today's session with you make your way back out the mine and you meet up again with Hermir, and he allows you to bed down for the night in his smelly wee shack. But at least the rain started again. It's dry and comfortable, even if it is a bit pungent.
Now
Sure.
we smell. Now we smell.
Well, I was about to say, I think the one upside of it being torrential rain again is you can just go outside and have a shower, basically. For those of you that don't have prestidigitation.
I imagine Grash uses Axe body
Nice.
spray.
Yes, that's right. Africa. Yeah, so do we have any followers or anything to read out? And then we shall...
We do.
Good.
Can we do an acapella in Africa? Wow.
What are you talking about?
I would like to thank Dan and Vic for hosting us, as is their want, and we appreciate it.
Yes, we do. Thank you so much, guys.
I would also like to thank Prankish Cloud 58 for following us, and Spartan Cookie for following us. We like both of you.
We like cookies and oh no, wait, what was the first one?
We like clouds and cookies.
Clouds and cookies.
That's
Jabber
funny.
was like,
And I'm hungry.
Jabber sounds
And-
like the half-interested parent. We like both of you.
Yeah.
And,
A little
and
bit more energy, Jab.
it is too late.
Yes.
This accent does not do energy.
Just talk.
Okay.
Thank you for following and hosting, and we will be back again next week, Saturday and Sunday. Saturday, maybe just gaming. Sunday, D&D. And sometime check us out on Twitter. There's links in the chat. Same with our Discord. Check us out on that. And
YouTube.
Thank you, Dan.
YouTube. We got Dan. He's a good guy. And
Right, someone make Jabber stop talking.
I don't know how to do it. He's just rambling so much.
someone save me.
Say goodbye, Jabber.
Thank you all for joining us this week. Goodbye.
Cheerio.
See you later, guys.
Yeah.
Bye.